Well, happy Saturday again, Las Vegas. It is Monique Buchanan, the Las Vegas Realtor, your friend here at KUNV 91.5. You guys know it's time right now that we are doing our fundraising. So please jump on to www.kunv.org and bless this wonderful radio station with whatever it is that you see fit that you can bless this station with. And let me tell you, this station has been such a blessing to me and my business. Being able to have my KUNV listeners hear, everything that I have to talk about as far as real estate goes for the last 3 years has been such a blessing, not only to me, but to all of my clients. A lot of you guys have heard me on the show and a lot of you reach out. And even if I don't end up selling your property or helping you to buy a property, I'm able to give you the advice that maybe you're looking for. And that blesses me as well. I love to assist and help. Okay. So anyways, it's fundraising time, you guys, for KUNV. So if you are in a position to give, we greatly appreciate it here at 91.5 KUNV. You can jump on www.kunv.org and we appreciate that donation. All right, guys. So let's just jump on into the show. First, I want to say, hey, I hope you guys had an amazing Resurrection Day. Me and my little girls they were actually in a play, you guys. That's hilarious. It actually made me cry because it was, them reenacting the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And my little girl, Sasha, she was the rooster that crowed when Peter denied Jesus 3 times, in the Bible. So it was so cute. She said, cock-a-doodle-doo. And then Malia, she was also in the play as well. And she did an amazing job. She was one of the women that was by Jesus' side when he was crucified. So I hope you guys had a blessed Resurrection Day, got some time in with your families. But let's just, like I said, jump into the show. The last couple of shows, I've been talking a lot about the buyers. And I will continue to talk to my buyers, but I have got to pivot now. I've got to pivot to my sellers and give them some love too, So if you've been wondering, what, should I go ahead and list my property now? Because, I was going to take a couple listings back right after the feds raised the rate. I think that was what was it? Like maybe May of last year, June, I think. No, it was June 1st. They raised the rates. That's right. I had a couple listing appointments. And at that time, I just was honest with them, letting them know, hey, right now, for your price point, I don't think it's a good time. And I was right. For their price point, it was not. But now, you guys, things have changed. We are starting to see multiple offers. It's very common right now. I've got plenty of buyers that are seeing, as we make offers, we're going up against multiple offers. I mentioned that in my last show. Well, what does that mean for my sellers? Hey, if you have a property, like I said before, that you think is worth, even under $450 right now, it's very, very high and likely that you will have multiple offers on that property if I'm able to make sure that it's in the right condition and make sure that everything is very appealing to the buyer. So let me just read a couple things to you guys. The National Association of Realtors, they said that this week, actually, the 3rd week of April, is the ultimate sweet spot for listing your property, as they are expecting, if you decide to list your property right now this week or, in the following weeks, you are expected to get 16% more views on your property, as well as earn an extra $8,400 per sale. Now that's according to the National Realtors Association, because every single spring season, it tends to not only, bring out the flowers, but it also brings out the buyers. Okay. And even with the current rate sitting at around 6.25, and, don't quote me, these are only estimates. I am not a lender. I am once again just regurgitating what my lenders tell me they are. Okay. So, and of course that all plays, as far as like your credit and debt to income. But anyways, 6.25, guess what, guys? There's still an amazing amount of buyers out there, okay? A lot of buyers have come out and they are buying. They are not waiting. They're not sitting on their hands. They are actively in the market. They've come out of hibernation and they are buying. Now, for my sellers, this means less, competition from other sellers if you decide to list right now. All right. So there's still a lot of folks that are sitting on their hands as far as listing. they're waiting and hoping that the market goes back up like last summer. So they're not selling. But what does that do for you if you decide to sell? It means less competition for your property, less, homes for the buyers to look at, especially if you guys have a single story home. My goodness, those are so sought after. If you have a single story home, let me tell you something. It doesn't even have to have a pool. They're getting snatched up left and right. Okay. It's like having the only slice of pizza left in the room full of hungry people. Right? So yeah, single stories, if you'll notice, there's like so many more 2 stories throughout the valley than there are single stories. And there's a good reason for that. Single stories obviously take up more space when you build. But there's, so many people are looking for those single stories. A lot of folks cannot do those stairs, So anyways, but since there's more buyers than homes right now, we're seeing multiple offers again in the market at a certain price point. Okay. So even at the higher price points, I'm starting to see much more activity on my listings that are over 500,000. Okay. So if you want to maximize your chances, of getting a bidding war going, you definitely want to lean on me, your real estate advisor. And I'll make sure to make that house attractive and appealing to the buyers. You guys know that I have a lot of buyers I work with a lot of buyers, and that makes me an amazing listing agent. And I'll say that, and I humbly say that, but I say it because I know what the buyers are looking for. I know that a buyer does not want to walk into a home and start looking around and start immediately creating this list of chores in their mind of things that they need to do, and let me just give you some examples. If they're looking and they're like, oh my goodness, this place needs paint. Okay, the carpet needs to be stretched. It's coming up. You know what I mean? Over there in the corner. Or, the walls are chipped, things like that really deter buyers. They don't want to right now walk into a property where they're going to have to pay 6.25%, which means, even at a $300,000 price point, they're paying like $2,300 possibly, depending, a month. So if I'm going to pay that much a month, in my mind, I want to walk in, put my stuff down, and pretty much be done with it. Like if I paint, it's only because I wanted to add that accent wall, So just keep that in mind. As your listing agent, I will come over, view the property, give you some tips on what I'd like for you to do so that we can get the maximum price, accomplished, right? It's in my best interest that you sell for the most. I want you to sell for the most, right? So I'll give you some tips right now. Even if you're thinking about listing your property and you're about to give me a call, you can know that I'm going to tell you to please declutter the property. We want it like a blank, slate. We want the buyers to be able to envision their couch in that house, So if you have a lot of furniture, you can even put some of it in the garage and keep it, just think like a minimalist, one couch. Love seat's okay, but even if it's big, if it's like those oversized couches, I would say the one main couch and just a chair. Maybe put the love seat in the garage. We want to minimize as much as we possibly can, so that the buyer can go ahead and envision their stuff in there. We want to take down personal things like the pictures of the family. You guys, bring them down. You got a beautiful family, but we need them off the walls. The pictures have got to come off the walls because that, once again, kind of clouds the buyer's, creative ability to be able to see their family in the home. They don't want to look at your gorgeous family and think, well, this is really their house. You know what I mean? We want them to be able to say, hey, this is going to be my family's house and my beautiful pictures of my family, or if whatever of myself will be up on those walls. Okay. And then, you definitely want to have someone come over and clean the house. You can clean it yourself, but you definitely want to deep clean all the, high traffic areas, especially like the kitchen, the bathrooms. These things are very important to the buyers when they're looking at the properties. Things that you've been walking past, telling yourself you're going to get to, eventually. The buyer's seeing it all. You know what I mean? All those little bitty things that you think are no big deal. A scuff here, a scratch there, dirty baseboards. You know what I mean? The buyer notices it. I'm telling you, you should hear my buyers. I'm like, oh my goodness, you seen that? Yes, I did, Monique. And I'm like, okay, I see it too now, And there they go. They're making that list in their mind of stuff that they're going to have to do. So all those little chores that you have been meaning to do, you definitely want to do those little chores before we list. We want the property to be in tip-top shape. I mean, you don't have to break the bank. We don't have to do that, but we do need to do what we can to make it really sparkle. If you're just jumping on, my name is Monique Buchanan. I am the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show. I am also on YouTube, Welcome Home with Monique, and you can reach me at 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. I am talking to my listeners and talking to them right now about, or you right now about, I should say. If you're thinking about listing your property, some things that you can do to get it ready before I come over, walk the property and give you a true estimate or value or CMA, comparative analysis report on what I think the property can sell for. Okay. But, when you jump on my website, it's going to give you a general idea, but it's definitely not going to, give you the exacts as it does not know that you did some upgrades within the last 5 years. Okay. So it's just going to, give you an estimate based off the assumption that you have not done any upgrades in the last 5 years. Okay. So I would need to obviously come over, walk the property, let you tell me, hey, Monique, I updated that HVA system, just last year, I've paid off these solar panels. So now, this new buyer's going to have, basically free power. That's a great selling point. Or I paid for that water system throughout the home. That's what I have to come over, talk to you about, and then I'll be able to go back to my office, do my due diligence and give you an accurate estimate of what that home value actually looks like. Okay. And so that's how it works, you guys. Once again, my website, by the way, if you are interested in finding out what the general estimate is, that is www.welcomehomewithmonique.com. Okay. www.welcomehomewithmonique.com. You guys can always just Google my name, Monique Buchanan, and that's Buchanan. It doesn't, my husband just couldn't have his family spell the name the right way in my mind. No, I'm teasing. I love the last name though. It's Buchanan, Buchanan. And you guys can jump on my website, like I said, www.welcomehomewithmonique. Get that estimate for your home, okay? Just, type in your address. It'll give you the estimate. And then if you want me to come out and view the property and let you know for sure what we could possibly sell it at, I will gladly come on out and give you a true estimate of what we can sell that property at. Okay, so like I said, hey guys, it's not just me talking. National Association of Realtors says that this week, the third week of April, is the ultimate sweet spot for sellers to list their property. And like I told you, my buyers and we're seeing multiple offers right now over list price. Again, I told you guys it was coming. And look at this. They haven't even lowered the rates crazy yet, but it's already starting to happen again. Okay. So that's where we're at. Okay. But real quick, another thing, I just had one of my team members, she just took a listing over in Henderson, and I had to go over there and help her, get the property, ready. So the sellers were, they understood that the house was a, 1979 home. And I'll be mentioning that property once she has it listed. So if you're interested. But anyways, the home is 1979. It's beautiful, single story. But it's really dated. So I had to go over there, and they had a budget in mind, and that's fine. We don't have to break the bank. You know why? We don't want to go above and beyond, in many homes, because in many cases, the buyer's going to come in and make it their own anyway. Now, they had renters in this property, so the carpet was really shot. It was really, really bad, worn out. I mean, carpet cleaning was not going to bring this back to life. So they had a budget. They understood that. So they went ahead and changed the carpet. They went ahead and painted the property. And then, I suggested that they take down those, they had the old light fixtures that have that chain that hangs. You guys know what I'm talking about. The old school light fixtures with the little chain that hangs down. I was like, yeah, we're going to need to just go ahead and cap that, or we can go ahead and go to IKEA and buy a beautiful modern looking light fixture for literally like $40 and really make this space pop. So we have new carpet, new paint. Now we have a beautiful light fixtures. When you walk in, we don't have that old school light fixture from 1979, literally still hanging throughout the house. No, we need to take those down. Also, the old fans. You remember, Big Mama's fan? It was really dusty and it was brown with it was like wood looking. And forgive me if you have that fan. You guys forgive me. But honestly, if you're thinking about selling, you can do small things that don't cost a lot of money to really make your property stand out from other properties on the market. Okay, so I suggested, hey, let's pull down these fans. I have a handyman. He doesn't charge a whole lot of money. He'll put some new fans up, and the new fans cost like from $60 to like $100. I mean, if you want to get real fancy, you can get really nice ones. But there was a really modern, neat looking one that was like a circle light, and it somehow was a fan, but without like the arms. It was really modern, really futuristic looking. And it was only $90, you guys, on Amazon. So yeah. So anyways, we updated the fans. We're pulling down the old fixtures. That's an easy fix. It doesn't cost a lot of money. All this was done or will be done for under $500, you guys. Now, obviously, they did the paint and the carpet, and carpet's not really expensive either, so that was, that's something to think about. But anyway, so that's where we're at, you guys. I'm here to obviously come over, give you some suggestions. I'm also the person that has the handyman. I have the plumber. I have the electrician, so I am your problem solver. If there's something that's been holding you back or you've been worried about with listing your property, I am your problem solver, okay? Also, as your KUNV realtor, my marketing strategy is one of a kind, okay? I truly feel blessed for this, the ability to be able to showcase your listing throughout the entire Las Vegas Valley, you guys, on a weekly basis. I mean, that is a far reach, right? I believe we have something like 100,000 listeners per week, and I do have the ability and do showcase my listings on my show, and I remember one property that was doing she was really desperate to sell, and she said, Monique, please, please showcase my listing on your show. And I did that. And and this was not even my listing, by the way. I was just helping a fellow colleague. And she told me, Monique, I did a open house that Saturday, and I just had so many people that came through those doors about my property. And it's because they heard your show. So that is a very powerful tool, and I'm very blessed and thankful to have it. And that I'm able to share that with my sellers. Okay. Like I said, I have the ability to showcase your property throughout the entire Las Vegas Valley on a weekly basis, okay? So your property will get the maximum exposure and reach of potential buyers throughout the power of KUNV 91.5 Jazz and more. All right, and besides that, you guys know that I also have a good number of buyers in the pipeline who are eager and waiting to purchase, all right? So if I have that listing and one of my approved buyers decide to purchase the home, it could be a great opportunity for my sellers to save some moolah, okay? Because I'm all about you saving some moolah too. We all like to save a little money, right? So if you'd like for me to assist you in the sale of your property, you can contact me at 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. You can catch me on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Or you can jump on my website, www.welcomehomewithmonique.com, and that is where you can click the little button to get the home evaluation of your property. And remember, that's just a general idea. Does not mean that's what we'll list it for. I need to come over and actually view your property and walk it with you so you can tell me all the upgrades that you have done. All right, so that I can give you a true estimate of what that market value looks like. Okay, so let's talk about why it may not be a good time for you to sell. You guys know I always give it to you straight both ways. So here's my opinion on it's not a good time for you to sell. All right, so if you've only lived in your home for a short amount of time, you may have not made that much of a dent in your mortgage. So the expenses of selling will probably wind up costing you dearly, okay? So, so if you're thinking about selling to purchase another property too, you may, and you already got like a lower rate on your home when you purchased it, you may have that sticker shock, because maybe you bought your home when it was 3%. And yes, we can list it and sell it, but you have to be prepared that the rates have went up. Now, I will say this, brand new homes have something that is, and not only brand new homes, my last clients as well, we have a program in place called the 2-1 buy down, where it buys you 2 years at a low rate to figure out or wait on these rates to come down again. What do you mean, Monique? So that means that, sure, you bought your house at 3%, you're used to that low payment, Now we sell your property and you're like, Monique, I want to go buy a new home, even if it's a resale. I have the seller, I negotiate the seller to pay for you what's called a 2-1 buy down, or I negotiate the builder to pay for your 2-1 buy down. And that means that instead of being at a 6.25 rate, the first year you live in your home, you'll be at a 4.25 rate, which affects your monthly payment, obviously lowers it. The second year, you'll be at a 5.25 rate, which you're still well under what you would have paid at the regular price, and you're more comfortable. And that gives you 2 years to wait on the rates to come down, because the experts are saying that by basically this time next year, the rates will come down. That's what the experts are saying, okay? So if and when they do, you can just simply refinance out, grab that lower rate, and on your new home, now have that lower rate. But let's say that they don't. Year 3 through 30, it will be the 6.25 rate that you would have had in the beginning. So it just buys you time to wait on that rate to come down. So like I was saying, that's the only way I think that maybe it's not a good time to sell is if you have not been in your home that long, therefore you have not made much equity and you haven't, put that much of a dent into your mortgage. At that point, I would honestly tell you maybe you should wait a little bit. That's just my opinion, and that's what I would tell you, okay? Now let's talk to my buyers out there. I want to hit a couple things that have been brought up to me. Like I said, my KUMV listeners, I just love you guys so much. You guys call me up. I talk to you like family, just like you hear me on the show. That's how I talk to you when you call me. And I just listen to what's bothering you or what questions you may have. And a lot of times I'll hear the question of, Monique, I want to buy, right? But I'm in a lease right now. My lease, let's give an example. My lease is not up until August. So, I just don't know when I'm supposed to buy. So let me give you an example. If your lease is up, for one, I say don't let a lease stop you from being a homeowner. You can work stuff out with them, okay? A lot of folks don't know that. The property managers will typically work with you if they know you're going to buy a home. They'll say, okay, you're going to owe us 2 months rent, or you're going to owe us 1 month's rent, or whatever. And we will work with you. You can make monthly payments after you get into your new home, so that does not hit your credit. And we'll be fine as long as you make payments. You can negotiate the payments, you know what I mean? Whether that's $50 a month, $100 a month, they will work with you typically. So that happens a lot, you guys. People break their leases and just work something out with the property manager. So don't let that lease hold you, and keep you from snatching up a good deal right now, purchasing a home. Also, keep this in mind. All right. So let's pretend you go ahead and give me a call today or next week and you say, Monique, let's get the, ball rolling. I'm ready to get approved. Let's get that 5-minute conversation with the lender going. I'm ready to go ahead and buy. I'm going to take that leap. I'm going to become a homeowner. Great. I get you approved with my lender. All right. Now we're out looking at properties and I negotiate a great deal for you. And we go into escrow May 1st. Okay. We're just pretending, you guys. Remember, you have that lease until August. Now we go into escrow May 1st. It's 30 days before I will give you keys. It could be shorter. My lenders are rock stars. If you wanted to, I could close in 18 to 22 days. If we do the traditional 30 days, I'll be giving you keys June 1st, right? And then you will not make a payment until August 1st because you always skip a payment. So June 1st, I give you keys. You will skip July's payment. And your first payment on your brand new home that we started looking for today, you will not have a payment on that property until August 1st. So that gives you, it frees you up, right? And helps you to have a little cushion, right? So that you can make that smooth transition into your new home and you don't even have to break your lease, all right? Even if you're in September, you could skip 2 months. It just depends on the lender and the timing that we decide to close a property, but you always skip 1 month's mortgage. So that gives you cushion to make that transition from your rental property into your new home. Okay, so just keep that in mind, you guys. Listen, I want to thank you guys for sending me all your referrals and trusting me with your family and friends. It never goes unnoticed. I am so appreciative. And, I'm just, like I said, I'm here to assist. I can also help you if you're thinking about relocating as well. So just keep that in mind. All right. So if you're thinking about relocating, I can assist you in that arena as well. I have a very extensive reach all across the United States and all 50 states, as my colleagues are in all 50 states, and they are capable of helping you if you are thinking about moving, as well as my company is in 18 countries. So that actually plays a really good part when you're thinking about selling as well. I am able to market your property literally in 18 different countries if that's something that your property would need. Okay. So just keep that in mind. I'm here to help. If you're relocating, I am your resource. If you're thinking about selling, I'm your resource. And if you are thinking about buying, I am your resource. Thank you so much for listening. This is Monique Buchanan. You can catch me once again on YouTube. Welcome Home with Monique, or you can simply jump on my website, www.welcomehomewithmonique.com, or you can always do the old-fashioned thing, which I like a lot because I love to talk, as you can see. 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. Thank you so much for listening, and until I hear from you.